Hi, I'm Gary, M0TIG. I'm the Senior Customer Support Engineer at Martin Lynch & Sons. And today really we're just going to go over one or two things regards the Wouxun UV9D. I've had a couple of questions regards how to set up a repeater in the software that Wouxun provide, and also how to install the drivers and install the programming software correctly, and what the difference between the two cables are. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover those two things. The first thing I should talk about really are the two cables. If you've got an older version of Windows, something like say pre-Windows 7, then you would need the black cable. If you've got something perhaps Windows 7 or newer, certainly Windows 8 and newer, you're going to need the red cable, and we've always got those in stock. So by all means give the shop a call if you don't have a red cable, and we'll sort you one of those out. So anyway, this we'll get cracking on with a little video. It's only going to be a quick one today, just to cover how to set up the driver, the software, and how to actually load up your first repeater memory. So okay, let's get cracking. Okay folks, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to whiz off now to the Wouxun website. Two ways of doing it. You can Google it, or if you know the address as I do, it's www.wouxun.com, and it's already come up because we've been there before. Okay, there you go. That is basically the Wouxun website. We're going to instantly go to download, and we're going to scroll down here, and we're looking for, actually let's go here first. Let's get the drivers. So we're going to take the drivers. So the USB driver for the new cable, USB driver for the old cable. We've already spoken about that briefly. We're going to get the USB driver for the new cable, and we're going to download it like so. There we go. They're going to come. Yeah, there you go. Right. Okay. So let's just talk about this this RAR extension. I've had a couple of people. I'm going to just drag this away from Google Chrome onto the desktop. Now, for some unknown reason, this RAR extension is actually causing some confusion. It is just a standard zip file. Okay, it's nothing special. It's not a Chinese special RAR file or anything like that. It's a very basic standard stuff, and you need a program called WinZip, and that's fairly easy to find. Just good old Google and just type in WinRAR. You're going to need WinRAR, so you just type in WinRAR. There you go. WinRAR free, WinRAR download, and you want to go to RAR Lab if you can, and get it from them direct. And you can see that I've already been there fairly recently because I needed to get it. So it's fairly simple process, that one, just to follow the instructions and away you go. Once it's installed, okay, your zip files will actually look like a stack of books with a strap around them. Well, you're simply going to open this up, and there's your WinRAR RAR Lab file. It's offering you can buy the software if you want. Well, I don't use it often enough to warrant buying, so there you go. So we just get rid of that. There's your file in there, and we're simply just going to take that and we're going to drag it to the desktop. Okay, it is that simple. Okay, and there's your file. Okay, and if you open that up, you'll see inside it there's all your different files. Now I've already done that before, so I'm going to dump that. I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay, and I'm going to dump that one as well, because again I've already done that, and I've made a nice folder there called UV9D plus. And when you open that up, I've actually been to the Wouxun website, and if you like, we'll just go back over that one, just to cover that one. www.wouxun. Okay, and there he is. We're going to go to downloads. Okay, now what we're after here is the programming software. Okay, and we've got a dual band portable radio. Okay, so that's the UV9D plus, that's what we're interested in. And we're going to scroll then down, we're going to pop down here, and you'll see there's UV9D plus programming software. You just click on that and the same thing will happen. You can say download and it will download. Okay, and it's in this particular case, again, it's a RAR file. Okay, and once that RAR file's unzipped, it comes out as UV9D plus setup exe. Well, it's a very simple case of just simply installing the software. Now I've run through some bits and pieces before, but again, it's very easy. We're going to install the drivers first. Now it's really important that you don't plug the cable in, okay, at this stage. If you plug the cable in, Windows or you will find its own drivers and probably or possibly even give you a bit of a headache. So what we're going to do is we're going to not plug the cable in. Okay, I've not plugged any cables in. There's nothing plugged in. We're just going to run the software first, or run the USB driver installation first. So we'll open this up. And you'll notice here that there's actually a 64 and an 86. Well, the old 86 architecture is basically an Intel chipset or motherboard or whatever it is, chipset, and it's the newer architecture is the 64-bit, so it's the CPU pipeline basically. So we're going to go with in my case it's 64-bit. I'm going to show you how to find out which one you've got. If you come down to the start menu on older machines or older operating systems, you might find that there's actually a start menu there, and you need to then go up to the tab that says computer, and if you right mouse click on that computer, then you can actually get properties of your computer and it will come up in the same way. Well, in my case, you just go to this Windows symbol and you scroll up to system. There you go. Okay, and in my case it's telling me I've got a 64-bit operating system, so straight away I know to run the 64-bit. It will ask you, do you want to make a change? Well, the answer is yes. You don't have many choices, and you just say next, and that's it. It's done. Now you can introduce the cable. Okay, and what it will do is it will assign it a port number, and the software with the UV9 is actually very, very clever. It's not bad at all. Again, you just, with the UV9 Plus setup, you double click on it, you can run it. It's asking you, just answer the questions. Yes, I agree. Next, are you happy with where it's been installed? Make the shortcuts available to all users, unless of course you've got a machine you don't want to share these shortcuts with, and that's it really. Well, I've already installed it, so the answer is yes. We'll say yes. Finish, and that's it. It's done. It's installed, and now we can actually run it. So in my case, it's already listed it quite high up in the listings. But if you needed to, you can actually go back to all apps, click on one of the letters, and you can actually then look at the listing. Not sure what it was called now, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Right, let's get rid of that. Okay, right, KG-UV9D plus. I'm going to click on that, and away you go. Happy days. Okay, right, what we got here, we're going to get some information now. We need some information from UK repeaters. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop along to UK repeaters, and you just type in there www.ukrepeater.net. all right, and we're going to put in a frequency for a typical repeater. Well, in my local repeaters, probably fairly local, would be something like I don't know, GB3 RD. There you go. That's a fairly, I know which one that one is. Okay, and there's the information that you need. It's giving us the output frequency of the of the repeater, and it's given us the input frequency of the repeater, but it's also given us the CTCSS code that we need to obviously open it up. Now these are reversed slightly on your handy, so obviously the output is the receive frequency on the handy, and the receive frequency on the repeater is the transmit frequency on your handy. Right, okay, so that's what we're going to do then. We'll take the let's take the output first, and we're just going to simply copy it. Okay, we're going to come over here to the receive frequency. So the repeater is going to be transmitting, and we're going to be receiving on the handy, okay, 1456750, and there it is, done. Okay, and then we're going to take the receive frequency, so that's the transmitted from the hand portable or the handy, and we're going to paste that in the transmit. So there we go. So now we're going to be transmitting to the output of the repeater there, and we're going to be receiving from the output. Okay. Now 2 meters is narrow, 12.5 kilohertz, and what else do we need to do on there? Do we need to scan add? Oh, I'm going to turn that off for the moment. We don't need to add that to any scans, and we're going to give that a name. So let's get that out of the way so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. We're going to give that one a name. We're going to call that one GB3RD because that's what it is. And we're going to, we don't need to decode because obviously that is a tone squelch. What we're going to need to do is, the repeater has a tone squelch on it, okay, and that basically means that the repeater won't hear you until it hears a tone or a key basically to open it up. So we need to put that in the transmit. So we need to encode our transmission with the same code as the repeater is set to decode. So there it is there. The CTCSS tone is 118.8 hertz. Okay, so we then go down to the little list and we select it from the list there. So there you go. So basically now we've got the receive frequency, the transmit frequency. We don't need to decode, but we are now encoding. So we put the key in to open the squelch up on the repeater. We're going to transmit on high power. We're using narrow. Okay, don't worry about that one. That's not important at this stage. We turn that one off at this stage. And we've called this memory allocation GB3RD. And that is basically it. Okay, we've now programmed our first repeater in, and all you've got to do is repeat the process. Again, you can search for the different repeaters if you want to. If you want to, I don't know, you want to add another one. I mean, it could be GB3 GF, I think, is another one near me. Yeah, Guildford. And again, you do the same thing. This one's on 70 centimeters. You would put the input, the output frequencies, and you need the tone. The only difference is, I think on 70 sems it may be wide. I think on the transmit, you'd need to check with the RSGB band plan what the whether they're wide, narrow, or 12.5 or 25 kcs. Right. Okay, so that's basically it. So all you really want to be able to do now is save all your hard work, because obviously you don't want to keep doing this every 5 minutes. So what you need to do is go to this file menu here, and you can say save as. Well, I'm going to save it on my desktop, and I'm going to call it I don't know, saved sample. There you go. And it's going to save it with a KG extension, and that's it. You just simply say save. Okay, that's done. So you've now put in a repeater, you've set it up, and you've saved your hard work. Now obviously, now if you want to close that and come back to it later, you can reopen the program, say file, and then open. Okay, it's gone to the desktop. we're going to scroll the way down, and we're going to see our saved sample, and we're going to open our saved sample, and you should see it change. There's what we put in earlier on. It's all there for your for safekeeping. So just, it's a very simple process. You can test the connection with the radio. You simply, once you've installed the driver, plug the correct cable in, the red one if you're new Windows, and obviously the black one if you've got older versions of Windows, and then turn the radio on. So you connect the computer, connect the radio, and then turn the radio on, and you should be able to do a read, okay, from the radio, and it will actually then read into the menu. However, it will overwrite what you've done if you do a read post setting this up. So I would always do a read first, okay, then modify the file, and then you can actually then write it to the radio. But make sure you save your work. All right. Okay. Well, that's been it. That's it. Really, very, very simple. And I hope that helps. It would appear that some people have had some problems, but I hope that helps. Okay, many thanks, and see you in the next video.